I'm Giles. I'm from Colorado in the United States. This is my first year in Germany, so I don't have any German skills at all. Last year I was in Scotland. The year before that I was in Slovakia, so I've been traveling around Europe and it's been great, but I think Regensburg is one of the best spots I've been in so far.
Yeah, I'm Corey. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I've been in Germany for the past 7 years, in Regensburg the past 3 years. My German's not that good, so English is better. And yeah, I like Regensburg, and it's a good city, and we enjoy time here.
Why did you decide to play hockey?
So when I was growing up, the college sports team nearby was really big in my family. My parents had tickets to go to all the games, so it was just kind of a natural thing. They asked me what sport I wanted to play, and that was the only one I'd seen. So I picked it and stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, everyone from Canada skates, plays hockey growing up. It's pretty much like the national sport, so it's like mandatory kind of to play, and then you kind of go from there when you're younger. But yeah.
What do you dislike or like about Germany?
I like the people. The people are the best. No, but seriously, like we've been playing in Germany. Like I've been in Germany for 7 years, and there's a reason why. Like we stay here. It's because you know, we enjoy our time here and our life here. It's a good quality of life, obviously. The people, for the most part, as long as you speak German, you're good. And yeah, and obviously, in terms of Regensburg, the city, the hockey rink, fans, and everything, it makes our time here and my family enjoyable. So we like to keep staying.
I think one thing I really like is the architecture. So over here in Europe, every city has a really beautiful cathedral and a church and something like that. Back in the United States, we don't really have any historical architecture like that. One thing I dislike is that nothing's open on Sundays. Back home, Saturday and Sundays when you get all your chores done, go do all your cooking and, buy your food to do your cooking for the week and all that, so it's quite an adjustment having to use that day as just rest instead of chores.
Are your families happy about your decision to be ice hockey players?
Yeah, my family, they really support me. They've watched every game that I've played for over 20 years now, so even though it's on the other side of the world, they'll wake up and have their breakfast and watch our games now because there's an 8-hour time difference. But whenever I've had doubts or considered quitting, they've always really supported me, honestly, kind of like, hey, I don't think you should do that. Because they know how much it means to us, and it does kind of stink not being able to talk to them nearly as much from around the world, but they support it, and they're really happy that we get this opportunity to travel and see the other side of the world.
Yeah, I mean, sitting here, in general, they know, I'm doing something that I love to do every day, I get excited every time I go to the rink, practice, and playing games, kind of people. But if my dad had a choice, because my dad's actually from Argentina, he'd probably want me to be a soccer player. But it's the way it happened. Football players, so yeah, football players.
Where would you like to travel someday?
Well, like I said, I've been here for, the best part actually about playing in Germany is that everything is so close. So whenever we have a couple days off or we have a little break, we get to, we travel to France, we'll travel to Italy, Switzerland, Austria. So we kind of done it all at this point. But something that I haven't been, maybe Luxembourg or something, I don't know, not even. I'd ask the wife for that one. Yeah, she's the boss. So
That's the way it is.
I'd say yes.
I I'd probably say southern Italy or Spain for myself, because Corey's been here for 7 years, so before the season, and like you said, a little bit during, but mostly before and after, we try to take advantage of being over here and try to see some new places every year. So you've had 7, 8 years to do that. This is my first year, so I've really only gone to Austria and Switzerland around here, so I'd like to see a lot of other plases too.
Another question, what's your biggest difference in your everyday life between Germany and your home country?
But day-to-day life, I think every morning or every lunch, I would go to the bakery here and grab a sandwich, or at home, there's not many good choices. Yeah, only like Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
But here,
I was also going to say the food. I think the food is a bit healthier here, and they don't use as many preservatives. I don't know if you guys even really know what that word is, but back in the States, you can buy things and they'll last for weeks, months. Like they last forever. You go on one big shop for like the month, and you're good. And then here, obviously, the food is really fresh and healthy, so you need to shop much more frequently. But that's a positive thing. So. The food at like the bakeries is really good too. The bread is so fresh, and it's not like that back home.
Is there any difference between the school system in Germany and US and Canada?
I think so. I think that pretty much like everyone is kind of expected to go to university back home. I know it's more of a choice here whether you want to start working after high school or actually go to university. As far as the younger school system, how many grades do you have? Is it 12? 13.
13.
Okay. Would that include like a kindergarten year?
What? Sorry.
Would that include like a kindergarten year?
No. That's just elementary school to the end of like.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we only have 12 years instead of 13 before university, and then, like I said, I think pretty much everyone just goes right to college. It's not even really a question of if you would start working. Do you agree?
Yes, most people, yeah. But it's also more expensive.
What was your first big match ever?
We played in a cool one when I was in university. They put a hockey rink in the professional football stadium, so it was outdoors, and it was really cool because it was American football, so it's way larger than the hockey rink, so all the markings of the football field were exposed, and then the hockey rink was like right in the middle. It was pretty cool.
I would have to say, I was playing under 18, like Team Canada, and we were in Russia. And we were playing Russia in the finals, and they had like 10,000 Russians cheering against us, and that was pretty exciting, and we won that, so that was, that was for sure a day to remember.
Are you full-time professionals, or do you have another job next to playing hockey?
Probably should get another job, but right now, yeah, while we're in Germany. In the summer, sometimes I like to try and look at some job opportunities, but for the time being in Germany, it's just strictly hockey.
One of the other players you said this was a Gerduckis jersey, right? I played with him in Florida, in the United States, and Slovakia, and we started like a website design software type company just kind of on the side, but hockey's pretty much full time. Like we're at the rink every day, and we went to Krefeld for a game, so that's like a 6-hour bus trip, and then you're there for 5 hours for the game, 6 hours back, so definitely full time.
Can you describe a typical day of a professional ice hockey player?
Yeah, so during the week we go to the rink probably around like 9 a.m. And there's like off-ice training beforehand, and then you'll have your meetings where you'll watch the film from the week prior, or you'll watch the team that you're playing upcoming. You kind of change their strategies a little bit based on who you're playing. And then we'll be on the ice for that training, usually for an hour to an hour and a half. And then the game days vary a lot depending on if it's at home. Sometimes we'll go in the morning, have a meeting. Some guys can skate. It's kind of personal preference if you want to actually go on the ice or not. And then we show up like 2 hours before the actual match to start preparing everything, your equipment, and warm up your body off the ice. And then you play the match, which is usually about 3 hours.
Yeah, like a typical week will be 6 days, you either practice or game, and then we usually have 1 day to relax with family and have off.
And what's your favorite food in Germany?
Favorite food in Germany. Probably the schnitzel. Simple but good.
Maybe Käsespätzle? Spätzle? It's like macaroni and cheese, pretty much.
Oh, well.
With a twist, yeah.
Are you famous back in your hometowns? Do people recognize you there when you...
Don't point finger.
No.
Just
From 3 big cities.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea how big like Munich is, but
Munich.
do you know how many people live in Munich?
I don't, but...
Around 1.5 million
Okay.
inhabitants.
Do you know how many?
Toronto's like 4 million.
Yeah, his city, Toronto's like 4 million people.
Okay.
And I think Denver is probably around 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Not positive, but.
Okay, so...
In the hockey world more, but like, yeah, not, on the street.
So good for you, actually.
Yeah.
Did you ever get recognized by friends?
Yeah, on occasion, yeah. A couple, like, grocery stores that me and my wife, we go to, and occasionally we'll be spotted a little bit. It's always nice, depending actually how we're doing. Either keep it up or like figure it out. Yeah.
Our vehicles have like the massive team logo on every side, so normally like when you're driving you'll see people just kind of like.
What do you like about Regensburg the most?
I personally like the old architecture in the city. It feels like you're like in Europe, like a European vibe with the cobblestone and like he said with the dome, the cathedrals. But yeah, it's like a smaller city, but it is really beautiful on the water. And yeah, I think I've only been in Germany to 2 different places in Germany, like lived there, and I definitely enjoy Regensburg more. It feels, it has more of a European vibe, and like a touristy vibe. There's a lot of tourists coming too. Like it's a very beautiful place to live, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's a really good size too. There's like enough to do, but there's never any traffic or anything, so it's a really good size for somewhere to live, in my opinion. And you're close by to, like, if you wanted to get to Munich, it's only an hour away, so I think the location's really nice too. You drive to Prague or Austria, it's all pretty close, which was really nice. For us, it's pretty close. I think that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Here, too. I know people, they'll drive like hour and a half each way for work every day. Just the commuting back home is a lot different.
Have you ever thought of quitting when it gets too hard?
Yeah, I've had a couple tough injuries. Like I hurt my shoulder and my wrist. I had to get surgery. And yeah, I thought about it. It's definitely, I mean, it's getting there. I don't know if I look that old. I know I'm pretty young, but I'm pretty, like, for the hockey world, like, I'm getting near the end. So yeah, I definitely think about it every year. But as long as I feel okay, like, throughout the year, you know, I'll play the next year. It's kind of the thing that you have to consider every year, how your body feels, how you're mentally. You know, it's also missing loved ones at home too, which is kind of tough. But yeah, it's definitely it's a subject going on recently, for sure.
Yeah, I think it kind of changes a lot depending on how the seasons go. Personally, like you said, injuries can be a big factor. I think, and probably for yourself too, like my goal was to play in the NHL, which is the best league in America, and then coming out of college, I signed in like the 4th top league. So just kind of wondering, you know, is this worth it? Should I fall back? I got an engineering degree, so I was like, should I just start, you know, working that job? And kind of decided that I can do that forever, but to be an athlete, you need to be, you know, young and in your physical peak. So I just figured that it was an opportunity that I couldn't try again if I stopped, and I can always fall back on something else later. So just kind of kept seeing what opportunities were there, and then coming to Europe has a lot of advantages in terms of being able to travel and, you know, to experience something completely different than we've ever known before. So definitely glad that I stuck with it and didn't quit. But I think that every player kind of has those thoughts. If you're not exactly where you want to end up, and then you just kind of keep finding different paths and different opportunities. So I think everyone who's stuck with it is pretty happy.
You're pretty young at the moment, but one day your career will come to an end. Have you thought about the future? Have you got any future plans for your career afterwards? And, well, is there a dream that should come true one day?
Yeah, it's, I don't know, you can do so many different things, right? And because we decided to just keep playing hockey rather than go into the workforce and like start that career, it almost feels like I'm like pushing off that decision rather than just like making it and starting. So I was interested in doing something like with medicine and maybe like going to like med school after, but now that I've played hockey for so long, it's like I don't want to wait to start my career, so maybe something else in the hospital related, but I really don't know. Hopefully I can play hockey for another, you know, 5 to 10 years if things go well. So just push that decision off even further, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely something we think about. That's like every year. What are we going to do? What's your life going to be after hockey? Because it's such a different lifestyle, right? But yeah, it's definitely a topic that we discuss. And I don't have the answer. Maybe that's why I keep playing. And then until I find the answer, until I find the answer, I'll keep playing, right?
Okay.
What do you like most about your home countries?
I'm from Colorado, like I said at the beginning. It's really beautiful. There's a ton of mountains there. I would say the Rocky Mountains rival the Swiss Alps, honestly. And so I think just the area I'm from, and I'm only there in the summers now that I'm always in Europe for the winters for the season. So a lot of hiking and just kind of being outdoors and trying to disconnect from everything is probably my favorite part about it now. But like we talked about, the country's so big, like it's hard to kind of say one thing because I think, you know, it's about as big as all of, I don't even know what to. But yeah, so it's where I'm from, definitely the outdoors.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I miss is just like friends and family. I feel like I could live anywhere, pretty much. It's just the toughest thing is just being away from friends and family. So that's like the biggest thing I enjoy when I'm at home.
Also,